Do you ever find yourself wishing that you could make some extra cash with your NFL knowledge? At MyBookie, they want to make your dream come true this season. Right now, all players are invited to play in the free $50,000 Survivor contest. Winner takes all. Contest starts October 8th and closes October 14th before the start of Monday Night Football. Pick one team each week, survive the longest, and you can take home $50,000 in cash. Make a successful deposit with MyBookie, and you'll receive free entry into the contest today. Between football season, the MLB playoffs, and the start of NBA and NHL seasons, it's time to get off the sideline and get into the action. If you're going to bet this season, do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag, because no one gives you more ways to win. If you join right now, MyBookie will double your first deposit using the promo code CryptoStreet. That's one word. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Let's go.
Round one. Fight.
Thank you for tuning in to the Crypto Street Podcast. Here are your hosts, Killer Whale, Prince, and Crypto Dale.
And remember to tip your waitress.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? You're tuning in. Crypto Street Podcast. This is Dale. Thanks for tuning in. Love you guys. I'm a little, as Prince would say, he's not with us tonight, but as Prince would say, I'm a little shook tonight. Prince and I had joint bag per se, or just had bought the same thing and wasn't on any exchange. It was an OTC deal, and we got scammed. Lost about 0.22 BTC. But lesson learned. We'll talk about that later in the episode. But like I said, Prince is not able to join tonight. Things are good with me. Cool weather. Let's rock and roll. Whale, what's good tonight, homie?
I'm very depressed, actually.
Go on.
Well, for one thing, I went 0-2 in fantasy this past weekend.
And your podcast league, when I was tallying up all the records and everything today, I just kind of always glance at the scoreboard. Yeah, your score last week was not very good.
Yes, thank you very much.
It's pretty bad when your kicker is your leading scorer.
Wait, what? Was he really?
I think so.
Holy
Or defense, one of the two got you 12 points, I think.
Oh my God. I'm not really surprised, but it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
But even worse than that, So I started the day, I had 3 bets on Sunday for football.
Mm-hmm.
And the day's progressing. I'm like, it looks like I have all 3 of them in the bag right off the bat. So I'm sitting pretty, I'm happy. Games progress. I lose 2 of them. I win 1. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm 1-2 on the day. If I make one more good one, then I'll be even. I'll call it quits. I'm out for the day.
Yep.
And so, like an idiot, I take, I think it was the under on the Packers Cowboys game or something like that. And that just gets blown out within 3 quarters. So I'm now 1-3 on the day.
Oh, no.
So this is the part where you start getting stupid. This is when you, further in the day, you've been drinking some beers all day, doing whatever. So you're not thinking clearly, but confidence is at an all-time high, regardless of the losses.
Yep.
So the night game rolls around, and I don't do anything before it starts. I'm like, whoa, good, very disciplined. Didn't do anything, no bets. Yep. So I'm still 1-3 on the day. Game's progressing, and the Colts, they scored a touchdown at one point, and I was like, okay, this is still the Chiefs. There's no way they're not going to come back. And so there was a live line, Chiefs -5.5.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and so I take that. They did not even win the game. So that completely got blown out. And it was just one of those where every single time you chase, you lose, I think.
Yeah, totally. It's like trading.
Yeah.
Weren't they 15-point favorites? Chiefs?
They
Or
were
was it
11,
10?
I think.
Okay. Yeah.
It was big.
That's I remember you telling Prince and I about that 5.5 live bet, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I said, "Oh, that's real good."
Yeah, so I was feeling great,
and I was thinking too about firing up and getting that too. I'm really glad I didn't.
Yeah, good thing.
Yeah,
but anyway,
it's funny how I'm in probably 5 or 6 paid fantasy football leagues. It's way too many. I do not recommend it because I'm watching one league and I'm cheering for one of my guys that is on that team, and then I pull up and look and I'm playing that same freaking person in another league.
He's
So
a
it's like,
double agent.
okay,
Yeah.
so just maybe score some, but not a ton.
Yeah. Did you see I think the best part of the fantasy week though was some people like lost games when they were ahead because of Baker Mayfield scoring
Yeah.
-2 points.
Yeah, we had that in our dynasty league. Although the guy ended up holding on, my buddy did, but
Yeah, that's right.
that's insane. How would you? Okay, so you want to hear talking of bad fantasy breaks? So in one of my leagues, it's a 6-keeper dynasty rule, so you can keep these 6 people forever. And I was down by 25 or 28 heading into Monday night. I had Robbie Gould, Odell Beckham, and who is my? Oh, and Jimmy G starting at quarterback. So I'm down by like 25. I thought, oh, this should be piece of cake. Okay, so I go up, and I go up by 1, and then then they send out Odell to return that punt, and he fumbled, and so I lost by 1.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
God.
not only that, I lost by 1. He fumbled. Robbie Golden missed 3 field goals, and then Wayne Gallman or whatever New York Giants running back got knocked out, and he got 1 point.
Yeah, I have Gallman as well in one of the leagues, and that was a gut punch because he killed last week.
Oh God, he was so good, so good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this scam thing first.
Yeah.
Just because I think it's Prince we were talking with him over Telegram before the episode started, and he said, "Yeah, talk about this scam deal because it can happen to anybody." Okay, so just be leery. So what happened was Prince and I each bought this bag a long time ago, and we've been holding it forever. And we're in the OTC Discord, and we both decided like 2 months ago that we wanted to try and sell it. It's not on exchange. Dev has no plans of listing this on an exchange. Has blatant, or from what I understand, has said if this gets listed on any exchange by any community members, he'll just basically pull the plug. So no one wants to do it. So message yesterday, probably late yesterday afternoon, from a guy that said, "Do you still have the ULL for sale?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And he's like, "Okay, how would you take this much?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I will." And then so he gives an amount, and I say to Prince, "Hey, this guy wants more than what I have. Do you want to sell some?" And he's like, "Absolutely." So we get this guy to sell. Another mutual friend is running the wallet and kind of doing everything because you need to be pretty tech savvy to do it, and neither Prince or I are tech savvy that much. So he's doing it for us. So he was gone. So we're like, well, hey, when he gets home, he'll sync the chain, load the wallet, and then we'll, find an escrow agent. And you know what? I even had said, stupid me, I'd even said to this guy, "Hey, I've done like 5 or 6 OTC deals and didn't use an escrow agent. Do you want us to do that?" And he's like, "No, let's just do it to be safe." So I'm like, okay, cool. He's really selling this. So then he's like, this guy messaged Prince, and he's like, "Hey, so-and-so says you need a escrow agent." And he's like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "Well, I'm the moderator of the chat, the coin chat, so, I'll gladly do it." So then this guy messages me, and I was just like, "Yeah, hey, we got this, blah, blah, blah." So this guy starts to chat with all 3 of us, and then he's like, "Hey, here's how it works. This guy will send Prince the BTC, you guys send the coins to this address, and then once I have that, I'll tell this guy to send the BTC, and then I'll send once you guys get blah, blah, blah." So then the wallet was taking forever to sync, so it ended up tonight. We sent a test thing to this guy, and it got through. So he's like, "Yeah, it's through." So then we sent all of our coins, and then next thing we know, both of those guys left the chat.
Shit.
So what it was this guy obviously created a mirror account of the moderator of the coin chat and duped us that way. So, it just goes to show and like Prince and I beating ourselves up because neither one of us can believe that it happened to us and that we weren't more careful, and it is no one else's fault but our own. But moral of the story is you can never be too sure of who you're dealing with, and and just pure laziness on my end, not double check that the guy that I'm talking to is actually the moderator of the coin chat, even though he had the same name, same picture, everything. So
The thing is, like with crypto, like you have so many different things to worry about with like security that it's very easy to overlook one little thing, and then that's the thing that gets you.
that's exactly right. And this guy, the scam,
Overwhelming.
he acted like he wanted to use this escrow, which to me signified, oh, this is legit. And so it's just like, ah, shit.
Tell you what, we might be in the wrong business.
No kidding. It's just ridiculous. So anyways, this guy, just to warn everybody, his name is, oh yeah, I'm going there. I don't even care at this stage. It's Contenio, Contenio, number 5130 on Discord. So if he deals with you, stay away. Send him a message. Tell him he's a piece of shit.
Just harass him at this point. Might as well.
Well, I mean, got some. I'm not going to say that, but so, anyways, just always be careful. It's one worry of mine for crypto space to, the mass adoption and I know you have fake dollars, printed and stuff like that, but it's one worry. I feel like it's a lot easier to scam on crypto because it's all electronic and digital.
Are there escrow services where like it's like a peer-to-peer like marketplace with reviews and like how kind of like how darknet markets work, where it's like it's weird and it's sketch, but like there are like peer reviews on different sellers and stuff, and that sort of thing. Does that exist?
I don't know if it does. I know there's OTC Discord that I think Broid is kind of behind running it. And they're always, but even in there, it's scam. And I don't know if there's a place for reviews, like you said, Will, but that's a good idea for someone wanting to do something.
Yeah, you gotta stay vigilant. Be careful out there, everybody. If it can happen to them, it can happen to anybody. So
yeah, just always know who you're dealing with, and if you are doing an OTC deal, it wouldn't hurt to hop in the Coins Discord or Telegram and verify somehow that the escrow agent or moderator of the coin is actually who you are dealing with. So
yeah,
just be careful.
Like quadruple check handles. I mean, I got way back in the not way back in the day, but like 2 years ago, I almost got by a fake Eric Voorhees, and this is like, and I think it was just one of those things where like somebody made a Twitter account with like the exact same name, same bio, like they had paid for the number of followers he had, so that looked legit. And it was off by like one letter in the handle, and it was like one of those easy things to miss, like an R followed by an N that looks like an M or like something like that. And so it's like you can never be too cautious, and like you can kind of drive you crazy, but it's how you have to be. Well,
and we've done giveaways on the podcast account, Twitter account, and if the person's name is, say, like has an I, capital I in it or something, we've had someone create their account and message their podcast Twitter and be like, hey, here's where you can send my prize. And then I think you caught it, Will, and you're just like, no, I don't think this is actually you.
Yeah. On the topic of like scammers and stuff, more recently, I've started to get like just these random like scam bot things under certain posts where it's like an XRP like shill bot or something, and we haven't seen those in a while, like the whole like Ethereum scammers, and I don't know if that's like bullish, but I don't know, maybe I'm grasping at straws here, but
I think it is. I've seen some people on my stuff too. My follower count is increasing, which is usually a sign also.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a perfect place to say the one message Prince wanted us to relay tonight is that he is bullish.
Yeah. Shockingly bullish, in fact. Offensively bullish.
Yeah.
Uncomfortably bullish.
We're going to the moon, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Prince is a bear by heart, so that's extra meaningful.
Right.
Yep. So on that note, I guess, do you want to talk a little bit of price action before we get some of the like sort of news events and
yeah, let's do it. I'll pull up a chart here.
So yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit last week about price action, and at that point, I think we had just experienced that dip down, or yeah, I think we had just experienced the dip down. We've kind of been muddling around like 8,200, 7,900, that sort of range. And just recently, just today, I think we went back up above 8,400, which has historically been a pretty important level.
Yep.
So it's good to see a reclamation of that. In my opinion, it's still wait and see. I don't see a clear trend, really. I think it's still flat. And so I'm just not really trying to play this too much.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think for me to get interested, we'd have to go back to, if I'm interested in like taking a long, I'd say like low nines at the very least. We'd have to get into like 9,400 level. But really, I'd be looking more for like 9,800 or somewhere around there, I think.
Yeah, I think, so many people are trying to catch this move up or whatever the case may be, but there's such a choppy zone, I feel, from this 7,900 range up to this 8,390 range also, that and then now what I think is going to probably happen is I think we'll chop here from 8,500 to 88, 8,900. If I see a move above the 9,100, then I'll probably start really paying attention, maybe long 93, 9,400 from there. But like I was saying is, you don't always need to catch these huge moves. Yeah, it's great, and it's very profitable if you can, but the odds of you actually hitting it are very low, in my opinion. So, you need conviction. You need to – the trend is always your friend, yes, but, I just think there goes a lot to say when, it's okay to sit and wait for that conviction before you enter along. And, the market, it's all about preserving capital, so – there's my 2 cents. But yeah, I'm really watching to 9,100 range, and then might dabble another long right there, and then go from there. And what I was watching is that 7,800 range. I was thinking we were going to get down there for a while, and who knows, right?
Yeah, I think one of the things you said is especially prescient. Just it's okay to do nothing, and oftentimes that's the best thing to do, and that's one of the hardest things to do, because you feel like if you don't have a position, then it's like, well, what am I even doing here? I trust myself to call moves, and if I'm not calling moves, then let me just buy and hold,
Yeah.
But I think one of the takeaways, and like we've interviewed lots of really, really good traders, and I try to find like a common thread among the best ones. And I think one of the big ones is just discipline. Just know how to not do anything. I always think back to the example of Flood when he was on, and he was talking about, I think he went like 4 months without doing anything at one point, just zero trades. And that's like, I mean, that's a long time when things are chopping up and down, because everyone's overconfident and everyone thinks, oh, that little breakout is what I noticed, and I think that's the start of a trend. And often, like most of the time, it's not. I think that's important. Just learn how to sit on your hands, and that's one of the hardest things to do, but it's also one of the most important.
Yeah, and for him to, I agree with you and mirror what you say. I view him as probably one of the best traders out there. He's transparent. He posts losses and stuff like that. And for him to be able to sit on his hands for 4 months is just unreal. Like I was really trading the chop last week. That pretty much the 8,300 to 8,000 range. I was trading that recklessly almost, and even when I wasn't in a position, I was fiending or whatever. How is it? Fiending?
Fiending? I think so. Yeah. But
so I just was like really felt the need to enter a trade, and I noticed when I would enter one, prematurely or, didn't see what I really thought, I was so more likely to just close it, be like, oh, it's diving or it's rising. I'm just going to close it because I'm not sure. And then I just bled Bitcoin away doing that. Whereas when I knew what I was doing and waited and got in, then you're okay with those little hiccups because you know what you're doing.
I think another aspect of it too is if you have a position open, you can't look at things fairly because you're always going to find things that support you being right, and you're going to discount things that go against what your thesis is.
That's exactly right.
It removes objectivity from the equation, which is one of the most important things. That's something that I didn't realize for a while, but I'm starting to get a better grasp on it. I still have a long way to go for sure, but
me too.
Constant learning process.
And you're always going to be learning. Someone once told me, when you stop learning, you're dead. So
yeah,
pretty morbid, but it's the truth.
Yep, for sure. Okay, circling to some current events. The big one today, actually, recording this on Wednesday, has been this this IRS fork guidance, where the IRS has not released guidance in 5 years regarding this stuff. And so after a long wait, they introduced something that is really, really dumb, in my opinion. The gist of it is that if you get any coins from a fork, those are taxed as income for that year. So I think it's really stupid. What do you think about this?
It's absolutely stupid and nonsense. And, it's going to end up being reckless. And people, I'm not saying this, say someone doesn't like someone, and they are notorious for being a Bitcoin cash holder, they could fork, or just say Bitcoin, just for that simplicity. They could fork Bitcoin and just continually do that. So this said person has all these tax implications, and not necessarily that, they're going to be worth anything. But the funny thing too on this was Niraj, who works at Coin Center, put out a tweet on Bitcoin forks and said something along the lines of, did you remember to pay income taxes on any of these? And they're just, probably, I'd guess 30 to 40, maybe even 50 Bitcoin forks that I've never heard of, like Bitcoin boy, 1 Bitcoin equals 100 Bitcoin boys. So, it's just, there's all of these Bitcoin New, Lightning Bitcoin, Bitcoin Faith.
Diamond, remember?
Yeah, Bitcoin Diamond, Lightning Bitcoin, Oil BTC.
Terrible fucking names too, by the way.
They're just
My God.
horrid names. Absolutely horrid. But, these people, you technically have to pay on those if you had any Bitcoin at the time of the fork. And it's just, it's fitting for God, I shouldn't say this. I don't want to frickin' want to be on someone's list or radar here.
Letters out of the blue.
Yeah.
We've noticed that you've been transacting.
It's just fitting for the United States government to issue something just so ridiculous.
Well, it's what I was going to say is you go 5 years. Okay. So the fact that they went 5 years with nothing, to me, I was like, okay, they're really thinking this over. They don't know how to act, but they're being cautious about it. They're being careful. And you would expect that whatever came out after that 5-year hiatus would be smart and well thought out and thoroughly analyzed for implications. And it hasn't. And that's pretty disconcerting, I think. I think it just kind of shows nobody knows what they're doing, really. People are taking stabs, but these decisions are being made by people who don't really understand the space. I think another example too is what happens if you get something and technically it can be traded somewhere, but it's on an exchange that you cannot access, whether it be because you're located somewhere, whatever reason, you're in a country, but it technically can be traded somewhere. Do you owe on that, even though you personally can't get rid of it?
Yeah.
There's so many holes to poke in this. And for it to be a law or guidance, it was extremely poorly thought out.
Oh, and I think Donnie brought it up in today somewhere, and he said, Bitcoin Cash, when it forked, it like Coinbase forked it on August 1st, 17 or whatever the day was. And I don't think they actually got it for 4 months until after the fact. So
Yeah.
what mark price do you credit it at when you're doing your taxes? So there's just so many questions, and it just muddies the whole crypto and taxes for the United States citizens even more than what it already is.
I was just gonna say it's not even clear to start with, and this makes it even worse, which is ridiculous. Nobody knows what they're doing. Long story short, I think.
Right. Which no surprise, really.
Yeah, for sure. What was the other topic we were talking about?
The ETF denial.
Oh, yes, the ETF rejection. I gotta be honest, I'm kind of numb to all this ETF stuff. I see it and I throw it out the window because I'll believe it when I see it. You know, it's like I don't want to hear any more. We need a revision. I don't want to hear any more. It's delayed 4 weeks, only to be delayed another 4 weeks in 4 weeks. The whole thing is stupid. I'm like, and honestly, I think like for the purposes of price, I almost feel like it's better having it in the background not having happened, and because you can always look to it and go, well, look how good we're doing now, just imagine how good we'll do when we actually have an ETF or something like that, you know. And it's like
these ETF denials are the new China banning Bitcoin.
yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that. They're just stupid. I think I don't know, and anybody who's like a purist in the space, like the ETF is not for them anyway. It's for, you know, mom and pop and people who don't really know how to do it the real way, in terms of like owning their assets and their keys and all that. So I think, do I think it's a bad thing, or it'll be a bad thing when it finally gets approved? No, I think it will be good, but I don't really care one way or the other at this point.
It's like you said, we're those that have been in the space since, well, you know, early mid 17, late 16. This is just kind of like just another day in the office, really.
Yeah, exactly. All right, should we go over the fantasy crypto standings?
Yes, we'll do. We'll update the fantasy football league. So again, as those that don't know, or if this is your first time listening, welcome first. But this fantasy football league. Prince, Whale, and myself are all in a league, and then the champions play each other the last 2 weeks, and then the winner wins some money. So in the Block Party League, which Block Party leverages digital identity, blockchain, and smart contract technology, bring transparency, security, and fairness to the ticketing process for event creators and attendees. Check them out at goblockparty.com, which, by the way, did you hear that they sponsored with the Sacramento Kings?
I did. That is awesome.
That's way cool. Shout out to Shiv and those guys. So, and that's my league. Shooter McDarren is 5-0. That's pretty impressive. Jesus. And he's 5-0. Let me see here. I'm pulling it up. I apologize. 5-0 again. Scored 607.3 points, which would put him. He's upper 10 for the total points scored, but his points scored against, he is like last, I think second to last in the entire 3 leagues. So some guys are giving him a hard time because he's only undefeated team left at 5-0. But they're like, oh, you haven't played anybody. Well, he has, but whatever. So he's leading our league. In the Ardor League, this is Wales League. Ardor is a platform for business and developers and scalable way to use the blockchain. Check them out, ardorplatform.org. In Wales League, Wooderson is 4-1, leading the league with 656.5 points. He's actually the overall leader of all three leagues. And you know what? I think he has Melvin Gordon too, doesn't he, Will?
I think so. Doesn't my league have the most points scored in total?
I knew you were going to say that, and
of course, I got to justify my crappy team.
Yeah, you guys of the 3 leagues, I tell you what, you guys the last 2 weeks have been killing it because you're up by damn near 600 points.
Oh, damn!
So shout out to you guys. So then in OhioBitcoin.com. This is Prince League. It's OhioBitcoin.com is a crypto market capitalization price index website. We've got the same tools as all the other pricing index with real-time price data. GTmetrics.com gives them an A. Check them out at OhioBitcoin.com. In Prince's League, it's Scranton is 4-1 with 654.7 points. Or no, I'm sorry. He's in first with that. He's also, that's second overall in the league. So give a shout out, Crypto at Night. He's in Dale's league, my league. He's got 651.9 points, but he's 3-2. So he's had a couple bad beats. One of them was against me. Don't feel bad. Sorry, buddy, but definitely don't feel bad. And then I also want to comment on my W last week that I got. I was playing against A Dizzle, Ninja Light. I was going into Monday night game. I had Beckham going. I was down by 3 points, and he got me 4 points. So good pep talk to the lads. We're on the win streak, so we're gonna turn this around. So right now, if the season ended today, Prince would be the only one out of us three that makes the playoffs, which is sad and not right. So we'll make sure that we both make the playoffs well.
You were saying that's the opposite of last year, right? Where we
So
made
last year. Yep. You and I made the playoffs last year, and Prince did not. So
the
there's an
universe
update
balancing
on.
out.
That's right. So again, everyone's playing on that for the Zelcore Championship. It's the only blockchain and cryptocurrency platform you need. Holds over 20,000 crypto assets in one location. Trades seamlessly with Zelcore Plus. Check them out at Zel.network. So now on to what everyone. I didn't realize that this was such a big deal with everybody. We didn't give an update last week because I was under the weather. So, and I'm the one that –
We got some what the hell, guys? Why do you think I tune in?
It's nice to hear that people actually listen and pay attention to this.
Yeah.
So, like I was telling Whale before the podcast started, I just want this to know. I checked this on Monday night last. I obviously checked it here a little bit ago to get the more accurate figures. But on Monday night, I just want everyone to know I had 3.55 BTC because my Lux was pumping hard. Okay. So in last place as of now, again, anyone that doesn't know, we each did a fantasy altcoin draft where we had 3 Bitcoin. We'd use 1 Bitcoin on each round crypto that currently right now in last place is Whale with 2.84 Bitcoin.
Oof.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm pretty sure that last time this happened, last time update we gave, you were literally in first place. You jumped up to first place the day after.
Well, you say I'm at 2.5?
2.83.
Oh, that's not bad. I'm at 2.8. I thought I was lower.
No, you were a couple weeks ago. So your least worst performing crypto is BNB at 0.799 BTC.
The worst one is BNB? The worst one, right? Okay.
And your other two are over 1. So that's pretty good.
Okay, I got one big loser. That's what it is. I got one big loser.
It's not too bad.
But
in second place is myself. So Prince is in first by the skin of his teeth. Just have you. My worst performer is actually Monero at 0.84. Come on, Pony. Get me going. My best is
what's your total again?
3.06.
Okay, this is pretty close. I'm not getting blown out.
Too bad. No, you've definitely closed the gap.
Okay.
My best performer is Ardor at 1.27. And like I said, in first place is Prince. Realistically, Prince has one that is just blowing it, killing it. His FTT is 1.32 BTC, and his worst is HT, which is, I think that's that Huobi token.
Huobi token, yeah.
And that's at
I need
0.82.
I think it's at the point where I got to take CZ aside here and go, hey, I need this BNB to pump. Is there anything you can do? Is there any capital you can rummage up? Any kind of algorithm that'll buy it up?
CZ, we need something.
Yeah, exactly. I think he'd be receptive to it. I gotta say though, he's had a little egg on his face, a little bit over the past few weeks due to how poorly it's done. Yeah. And all the it'd be one thing if it was just doing poorly, that happens. But when it's doing poorly and you're tweeting things out like, don't margin short this, everybody, you'll get wrecked. Like,
Yeah.
and then you would actually not get wrecked. You would make a lot of money.
And people that just pisses people off. So the
Yeah.
masses are going to short it to the ground.
And the internet doesn't forget anything. There's evidence of everything that's ever happened.
God, no. Just like, remember when Jack banned me for that couple months and I said, I'm shorting Twitter to the ground. And do you remember what happened?
No, did that get banned too or something?
Like 30%. Literally,
yeah,
I'm not kidding you. Like 2 minutes after I tweeted that, and obviously I had nothing to do with it.
Manipool.
Manipool.
I don't think we talked about Manipool here. Do you want to tell everybody what that's from?
Yeah, so I kind of helped moderate a coin's Telegram for a while, and I would get random airdroppers DMing me saying this, that, and the other thing. And this one guy messaged me, "Sir, Manipool price dropping. Manipool, Manipul.
Manipool.
We say it all the time in our chat group.
It's so funny. It never gets old.
Oh God, it's great. It is just absolutely great.
Oh,
it's one of them things that even if this stuff goes to zero, it will have that the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I miss most about just like the unconstrained bullish market is just all the new people coming in who are just either like unintentionally like dumb or like naive or like it was really fun to laugh at all these people, I must say. And I don't think that makes us bad people. It's just funny. Yeah, that too.
No, they're not bad people. They're just for some reason they just want handouts, I feel.
Yep.
Hey, you know what I think we should do? I think we should do another draft. And I think I think let's open it up and see what our Twitter following wants us to draft. You know, like best movie lines or best movie or best one-hit wonders, something like that. Give a topic. We'll pick the top 3, and then we'll let the audience vote. And then what we'll do is we'll post all 3 of ours, 3 rounds, and then we'll let the people decide who's the winner.
I like this.
You know what?
Also, like after my performance on the other fantasy things we're doing, I could back away and not want to do this, but heroically
persevere, baby.
I like the idea. Let's do it.
Okay. So we'll make a tweet out, post a subject you'd like us to do a fantasy draft on, and then you guys will also pick the winner.
I gotta say though, we got to be careful. There's no Manipool in the results if people are picking winners, but we'll figure it out. Way to do it fairly.
Yeah, because no one's gonna buy Twitter votes because that's ridiculous.
We'd never do that.
Never. Anyways, all right. Well, guys, thanks for listening. We love you. We appreciate your support. Tip your waitress. Get them hootskis with the boys. Pump these markets. Let's go. Be safe. Don't get scammed. Love you guys. Peace out. Take care.